Hello everyone, ready to dive into the exciting world of game development? Today we are going to use Pygame to build a really super simple yet fun game, Touch the Falling Object. Pygame is fantastic Python library that makes it easy to create 2D games. It handles all the behind the scenes stuffs like drawing graphics, handling inputs, and playing sounds. So you can focus on the part where is the biggest fun, so designing your own game. And to start with that, we need to go to terminal and here pip install Pygame because we need to install the Pygame to our Python file. Then we are going to import Pygame and also we will need random to randomize some numbers. Whenever we've got it, we need to first of all initialize our Pygame. So Pygame.init. And with that, we are going further. First, we need to set the window dimensions. So how big our window should. So width will be 800, for example, and height will be 600. Then we are going to have a screen, and screen is like Pygame that display that mode. And here we are going to pass width and height as the tuple of the vectors that our screen will have. We can of course have like display name, to our title, to set caption to our screen, and here are the falling object. And with that, we need next to control our speed, because whenever you are creating the game, it's very crucial to remember that whenever you create more complex things, not the game that we are going to create, you need to focus also with that clock. So clock will be Pygame.time.clock, and we need, as you know, and whenever you are a gamer, you know FPS. So frames per second will stay with 60. Okay, I know I'm creating a easy game in 2D. So why we need to display them? It helps us to summarize with the speed and how our screen will refresh. And that's the very crucial part whenever you have to have like 100% control of the speed of your game and refreshing the screen whenever you, for example, change the scenery. Then we're gonna have some kind of game variables. So have player X, so player properties, player, we've got X, we need Y, it will be 500 for example, and player. We can just adjust 5, 10, but I will stay with 5. You can do even 8, don't 7, don't worry about that. But whenever it will be too fast, that game can kind of crashy, but with the 5, 7, it's awesome. Then we've got our player. I will just create that player with our command. Then we've got falling object. And with that objects, we'll have object X. It will be random int. And that's why we need random, because we need to know, we would like to have like a kind of randomizing where our object will start falling. And the first is 0, and then we've got width. So width minus 50, because we don't care about the height whenever we are talking about the x-axis, because x-axis is the same with the width axis, with not axis. Object y equal 0, and we need to object speed, and we can just adjust it to 2. Then we make some kind of object size, and we can have like 50, 60, 40. It's up to you. The bigger, the easier game. The game will be quite easy. There will be no very complex things, so don't worry. you can do even 10, and I guess you'll handle it. Then we are going to have a score. Score equals 0, and we'll get the font. Font just to create our score in our Pygame window. So Pygame.font, we need none, and 33 as a size. Whenever I just say none, because I don't care right now which font we're gonna to use. You can adjust it later on, but of the learning purposes, you need to know that font will also help you to create a kind of maybe more sophisticated fonts wherever you would like to have. And here we are going to make the very crucial thing. So our game loop. We need to be sure that it's running, and here while loop. Remember not to run it right now, because whenever I will just write something here, it will be continuously running. So right now, leave me, don't run it. Okay, don't worry. As you can see, everything is crashed. I can't do a single thing. I can just close it, but yeah, there's a lot of errors that can occur. Okay, so whenever it's running, we need like event handler in Pygame.event.get. Here we are going to be sure if event.type is like Pygame.quit. Right now we are going to have running equals false. Okay, Pygame, okay, it's equal to, and whenever I just run it, I can close it without any further ado, and it's working as it should. So don't worry, right now you can run, and as you can see, we've got our catch the object fall, and we can just close that window, and we've got our window working. So it's a good news. The next good news that we need to have is like to get the state of all keyboard buttons, and to have it, we need to assign to the keys Pygame.key.getPressed, and with that we know which key is going to be pressed. First, we need only left and right, because we'll just only use the x-axis, so inside our width. And with that knowledge, we need to check if keys, and here we are going to pass the argument, the key that is currently pressed, and we know that because we assign it the key priest to the keys. Oh, Pygame.key left. And with that, we knew that our player x minus equals player it. And with that, we are going to use if keys Pygame.right player x plus equal player it. And right now we are going to assign to make it faster, so it will move the right and slower to the left. Here we need to keep that player is within our screen bounds. So whenever we will have our window, we don't want to have the player outside the bounds that we got over here. To achieve it, we need to have player x is like maximum 0 and minimum player y x, because we are still in the work, with the same values that we've got inside our polling objects, so it will not disappear beside our window. The next thing that we need to have, like object.y, move the falling object. So we'll just move. We'll fall our object with the same speed. So object hit. And we need to check the collision. And that's the most tricky part whenever you're creating the game, to calculate the collision. And here, whenever object y is bigger than object y, player y, and player x, I will just explain you, is lower than object x plus object size, and player x plus 50 is bigger than object x. And with that, we check if at the horizontal way there's like touch over here. Whenever we're talking about the x-axis is in the width, so whenever our object is falling, we need to be sure that player, whenever he is, it's like on almost the way of the object, so object plus object size, because we can just be sure how big is an object. For example, I will start with the bigger one, so you will see that more carefully. Okay, so we've got it. The next thing that we need to have is to have the score plus equals 1, object y 0, and we need to create another object. So random run int 0 with -50. Here object speed plus equals 0.1, and we need to check if object y is bigger than height. So if object reach the bottom without being caught, so there is no collision, the easy collision way that we just created is 0. We don't add anything, so we can just copy and paste over here, but we need only one thing. 1.5 will be the object speed, so it will be like reset. Then we need to draw everything, so we'll just fill the screen with the block, the black one, 3 values only. Okay, we need pygame.draw rectangle, because we are going to use only rectangle on the screen. Here we are going to have the color. Oh, come on, 255, 255, and we need the player x, player y. It will be 5220. And with that, we are going to draw also rectangle on the screen for our objects. It will be the red one. And here we need to object x, object y, object size, and we need like another thing, the object size as a second argument also. Get it over there, and here we're gonna have screen score. For that we need to have a score. So score text, font render, and here f-string will just create the f-string, and here we're going to create the score. With the score, also we'll have like true value over here. Oh, come on, true. And we are going to have 255, so it will be all white. Then we have less screen bleed to just reset it, and over here 10 after 10, so our destination from that. Then we need to have like display that update. It will just update our display, and we need to control our frame rate. And to do that, as you remember at the very beginning, we created that clock. So clock.tick FPS, and here we are going to be outside our while loop. Pygame.quit. Cross the fingers, and yeah, something does not work with the fill. Well, because it's only the color, not other arguments, so that's why. As you can see, it's working, and yep, it started. And as you can see, our falling object working. Whenever I don't touch it, I don't have a points. And with that code, don't worry, you'll be ready to create some more advanced projects in the Python world. So see you at the next episodes.